Hello everyone, my name is Emmanuel Ogar, and for my power and energy technologies in smart grid assignments, I'll be presenting on the topic WAMS cybersecurity. This is my outline page. Before I begin, I would like to introduce us to the concept of WAMS. WAMS simply means Wide Area Monitoring Systems. It is a collective technology that is used to monitor power system dynamics in real time or near real time. It is also used to identify system stability related weaknesses and helps to design and implement countermeasures. So this brings us to the concept of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is simply the application of technologies, processes, and controls to protect systems, network, programs, devices, and data from cyber attack. The aim of cybersecurity in a smart grid is to reduce the risks, to either reduce, to mitigate, or prevent the risks of cyber attack and protect against unauthorized exploitation of systems, networks, and technologies. Smart grid technologies utilize recent cyber advancements to increase control and monitoring functions throughout the electric power grid. We have different types of cybersecurity threats, ranging from malware, command and control callbacks, newly seen domains, to the denial of service, phishing attacks, man-in-the-middle attack, where the attackers establish their presence in systems between two terminals, and they act as middlemen while extracting and exploiting informations from smart grid architecture. So the effect of cybersecurity attack on smart grid is outlined below. Cyber attackers may allow attackers to intrude and exploit software vulnerabilities or misconfiguration. An example of this was the 2003 Northeast blackout in the US and Canada that was reported to have been caused by a software bug. So this is the image of the blackout in 2003, affecting parts of USA and some parts of Canada. So cyber attack may also allow attackers to render system resources unavailable through denial of service, attacks by congesting the network or system with unnecessary data. So it may also allow attackers to attack secure systems due to insider threats, where a trusted individual can use system privileges to steal data or impact system operations. Cyber attacks may also allow attackers to manipulate or steal data in transit on the power application. So security requirement for WAMS in power grid. So it is WAMS in power grid architecture should have or meet the following security requirements. Number one is confidentiality. This implies that the smart grid or power grid should have a certain level of confidentiality by protecting and preserving both personal and proprietary data from being accessed, manipulated, or modified by unauthorized entities. Number two is integrity. It is necessary for the smart grid to be protected against improper modification or destruction of information, and ensuring that information or data from a reliable and traceable source. It's also necessary for the smart grids to be available by ensuring that data is provided in near real time and ensuring the power network architecture is always online. So the last one is non-repudiation. So by non-repudiation, it means by allowing system traceability. That means that every action can always be traced to the points of contact and from where, so that even a public authority is recorded so that no one can deny his or her action. So stages of cybersecurity attacks in WAMS. So there are 5 steps that are usually used by cyber attackers to attack and gain control over smart grids. So number one is reconnaissance. In this stage, the cyber attacker gathers and collects information about the targets. After doing reconnaissance, they scan, the attacker tries to identify the system vulnerabilities. So it is aimed to identify open ports and terminals and misconfigurations in the system that can be exploited. So number 3 is exploitation. In this stage, the attacker tries to compromise and get full control of the system. So if once the system has been exploited, the next step is to maintain access. So once the attacker has an administrative access on the target, it proceeds to solidify the process of maintaining access. So this is achieved by installing a stealthy and undetectable program so that they can always use to get access back to the system at any time. So countermeasures to prevent cyber attack in smart grid, they are outlined below. So they are categorized into 3. So the first is during the pre-attack stage. So under this stage, the following is recommended. Number 1 is network security by installing firewalls, IDX, intrusion detection systems, security information and event management systems, network data loss prevention also. Number 2 is by using cryptography for data security. This is used so as to ensure data's confidentiality, integrity, and non-repudiation. So there are 2 different types of cryptography. Cryptography is simply the process of encrypting data. So in symmetric cryptography, data are encrypted using a single key where both the encoder and the decoder of that data, they use the same key. But in asymmetric cryptography, 2 keys are used. The encryptor uses a different key and the decryptor using a different key to access. All this is just to ensure confidentiality and privacy and security of the smart grid architecture. So the third one is device security by using host IDS, intrusion detection systems that helps to identify at any point in time if there's an intrusion in the system by installing antivirus, host data loss prevention, automated security compliance check also. So the second phase is during attack. So this can be approached in 2 ways. The first is by detecting the attack. So all the security technologies that have been mentioned, they are recommended in this phase, including data loss packages and intrusion detection systems. So the next step is by trying to mitigate this attack by using either pushback method or reconfiguration method. In the pushback method, the router is simply configured to block all traffic coming from the attacker's IP address. While for the reconfiguration method, the network topology is changed completely. It's overhauled to simply isolate the attacker in the system. So the next phase is the post-attack phase. So after the event of an attack, so it is recommended that forensic studies should be carried out to analyze, to understand, to analyze and intercept digital data in order to identify the entities that were involved in the attack and probably identify and locate where the attacker's IP is located. So the rules of forensic analysis in smart grid, it helps to checkmate hacking activities. It helps to also detect intrusion, data espionage, violating consumers' properties, and stealing valuable information, including intellectual property and state secrets. So the use of wide area monitoring system entails the use of complicated and sophisticated information communication technology architecture that involves the use of both the internet, because it has to cover a very large expanse of land. This brings numerous cybersecurity concerns. So it is important that every infrastructure must be able to provide both high availability and integrity of data, while also providing some form of confidentiality of utility data. Thank you very much. These are my references. Thank you.